All right, hello everybody. So before I forget, I wanted to give a shout out to Christopher Knoll in the comment section. He's got a 76ers logo as his profile picture. I don't even know if you could call it a profile picture, but you get what I'm saying. Felt bad. I told the guy I was going to shout him out a long time ago, and just forgot. He's always been loyal viewer and, you know, supports the channel and everything. So yeah, I felt bad. I keep forgetting. I'm so freaking busy. But anyway, shout out to Christopher. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Hopefully he actually watches this. Be quite ironic if the one time I remembered he didn't watch. But anyway, I figured I would talk about this. Matthew Stafford is out of Detroit. Now, he hasn't technically left yet. But, you know, just like I made the video on Deshaun Watson, possibilities where he could go, I figured I would talk a little bit about Matthew Stafford. Now, obviously, this is not a sit-down professional style chat about it. This is, you know, car conversation, if you will. But anyway, so when I talked about Deshaun Watson, spoiler alert if you haven't seen that video, the three teams that I said if I were him I'd want to go to was that is a nice car. Holy crap. I don't know what that was, I can tell. Anyway, the San Francisco 49ers, number one. Number two, the Denver Broncos. And number three was the Carolina Panthers. Short after that, number four was the Miami Dolphins. I just did a top three. But to me, those four are the ones that if I were him, I would want to go to. So when you look at Matthew Stafford, you look at, he's a guy who has been so vastly underrated rather, throughout his career in the NFL because he was in Detroit. And, you know, I'm sorry if you're a Lions fan. I think you would agree if Matthew Stafford was on a team that had more stability and more around him, he could be a very, very, very successful quarterback in the NFL. And like I said, that ain't a shot. I'm sorry, I just think that's the truth. So Stafford to me has been one of these guys that I love to watch who doesn't get any attention. You know, there's your top tier name guys, and then there's guys who, you know, people always do these tier lists of, you know, who's the best and who's in what level. To me, Matthew Stafford's a guy that always gets listed as one of those lower tier guys, when actually I think he is a very good to elite quarterback. So if I'm looking at, you know, Matthew Stafford, where would I want to go? To me, my number one spot, I don't think it's close. I think this team is number one and there's everybody else behind. That's the Indianapolis Colts. I think you look at what the Colts have right now. You know, they're in a win now mode. They look good for the future to come. And so to me, if I was Stafford, I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, you know, all them guys. You got a lot there to work with. And the management there and with the Colts is very good. So that's a stable organization, great offensive line. To me, if I was Stafford, I think if you go to the Colts, you instantly take them from a solid team like they were this past year under Phillip Rivers. You take them to a contending team, like a legit contending team, pretty quickly. Now, my second team is the exact same as Deshaun Watson's was, the Denver Broncos. And I know there's always that joke that Elway loves the big, white, strong quarterbacks. That's been joked about for a while. But, I mean, Elway's taking his hands off. But if he does have any influence, which I still think he does, I could see this being a move that he, you know, tries to put his hands on. for the Denver Broncos to go get. I think that Matthew Stafford on the Broncos would be a really good fit. It seems natural to me. Kind of like when Peyton left, it was like, you know, that's a place where he can go and just, it's natural, you know what I mean? So I think if you're Stafford, you go there, you got a lot of weapons, a lot of young guys, you know, and you can get the most out of what left you have in your career. And so that would be my second team. My last team, you know, I've kind of thought about it. I'm sure I'll come up with, you know, another team. And actually, you know what? Just thinking about it, I think I'm going to go 1A and 1B for my three teams. The first one I had originally was the New England Patriots. They got a lot of cap room. They don't necessarily have a lot for you right now. But you gotta imagine Bill Belichick is looking at Tom Brady playing in the Super Bowl going, I want to get back. So you figure if the Patriots get Stafford and they go out and they get him some weapons, you know, they can easily go back to being that Patriots team, you know, everybody knows, not necessarily loves, but they know. And another team I just thought about, I think the Raiders with John Gruden. I think that might be a pretty solid fit. You know, Derek Carr has done a pretty solid job. He's never been my favorite. I've never really liked Derek Carr that much. To me, I think he's a solid temp quarterback. You know, if you draft a guy and you're looking to you know, have him sit a year or whatever, I think he's that quarterback. I wouldn't you know, if I ran a team, I wouldn't like him as the franchise guy. That's just my opinion. You can disagree with that if you want. It is what it is. But I also think that could be an interesting spot for Stafford to think about. So, like I said earlier, I think Stafford is a very underrated quarterback. I think if he was on any other team that was more stable, more successful, he might have a Super Bowl by now. So, like I said, I'm interested to see where he's going. There's going to be a lot of big-time quarterbacks on the move. There's a lot of debate about Aaron Rodgers now. I don't think he's going anywhere quite yet, but I do think that might be something next year that is legit conversation to have. So I think Watson's out, and I think we know Stafford's out. So who knows? You might see Jimmy Garoppolo on the move. There's going to be some big names moving, so we'll see. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.